If you enjoy such content, remember to like the video and subscribe to our channel. It will really help us out as we are just getting started. The story begins on March 5, 1990, from Banur, Kolkata, where there is an apartment. At around 5 in the evening, Hetal Parekh, who had gone to a temple, was returning home. She took the lift to go to her apartment on the 3rd floor. When she reached her door, she knocked, but no one came to open it. Hetal Parekh kept knocking again and again, but there was no response from inside. She knocked loudly for 2 to 4 minutes, but still, there was no response. Hetal started feeling very scared. She knocked loudly, making loud noises, but no sound came from inside. Due to the noise, people started gathering outside. Inside the house was Hetal's 18-year-old daughter, Hetal Parekh. Gradually, more people started gathering. The door was not open, so people thought of breaking it. After breaking the door, Hetal went inside with the neighbors. As soon as she stepped inside, she found her daughter's clothes on the ground, which she had worn just today. Her heart beat very fast as she ran to her daughter's room. When she opened the door, her daughter was lying on the ground. Blood splattered on the walls. Red blood was visible everywhere. Seeing this, her mother screamed. She couldn't figure out what had happened to her daughter. This story starts with a family of 4. Nagar Parekh, Hetal Parekh, Hetal Parekh, and Bhavesh Parekh. Nagar and Bhavesh had a jewelry shop that was running a good business. Hetal Parekh was a housewife, and her daughter, Hetal Parekh, was a 10th class student at Valley Goldsmith School, and her board exams were to be held in the month of March. On March 1st, early in the morning, her daughter left for school. She packed her bag and went down with her luggage because they lived on the 3rd floor. She left the house around 7 a.m. and came back home at 1 p.m. After coming home, she told her mother that the security guard of their society looked at her in a very dirty manner and often teased her. When her mother heard this, she ignored it and told her daughter to concentrate on her studies and disregard these things. The next day, on March 2nd, Hetal didn't go to school. On March 3rd, she attended school, and upon returning home, she informed her mother that the guard had asked her to go out with her for a movie in a very inappropriate manner. Initially, when the daughter first mentioned this to her mother, some action should have been taken. But this time, when the daughter brought it up again, her mother got very angry. In the evening, when Hetal Parekh returned home, she told him everything. Later, Hetal Parekh filed a complaint in the society, and the society forwarded the complaint to the security service company. It was later known that the society initially removed the security guard, but he later returned to work through another company. The guard's name was Donan J. Chatterjee, a 25-year-old male who was already married. He was known as a quiet person who did not talk much with anyone in the society. On March 4th, the security service company told Donan J that he would go to another apartment for duty and not come to Anand's apartment because a complaint was made against him. On March 5th, Donan J, the security guard, who was supposed to go to work at another apartment, however, he did not go there for duty. He came back to Anand's apartment early in the morning. Hetal, who had an exam that day, left her house early in the morning and was supposed to come back by around 1:30 p.m. Donan J's duty was from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Although he was not supposed to come here for duty, it was not known why he came. Donan J's duty was to end at 2 p.m., but by 4 p.m. he was still standing there in the building. By this time, the second shift guard had also arrived, but Donan J was still in the society. He went to the room given to the guards to sit and took out his clothes from his bag to change. He wore gray pants and a cream-colored shirt and was found inside the society until 5 p.m. At 5:20, Hetal Parekh, the mother, went to the temple as usual. At 5:25, Donan J left to go to the 3rd floor. Another guard's voice came from behind, asking him where he was going. Donan J told him that he had to go upstairs to make a call to his agency. He needed to inform them that he was going to a new place for duty soon and had some problems to discuss. Since this was the early 1990s, at that time, not everyone had mobile phones, and very few houses had telephones. So to make a phone call, Donanjay had to go to the third floor. As Donanjay went to the third floor, within 2 to 4 minutes, a man came down to the ground floor and asked the night shift guard whether a new guard had come today in the morning shift. The other guard said no, stating that only Donan came on duty. This man asking the night shift guard had come from the security agency to see whether the new guard had arrived today or not, and also to confirm where Donanjay had gone for duty. When he found out that Donanjay came here again, despite being told not to, he was surprised. However, as they stood in the hallway, the security agency representative assumed that maybe Donanjay had gone home by now. But the night shift guard confirmed otherwise, saying that he is still here and had gone to the third floor for some work. At this point, the security agency representative got more surprised and asked the night shift guard to call him. The night shift guard called, calling Donanjay's name loudly as he moved toward the third floor using the stairs. Amidst this, Donanjay heard him and responded, saying that he was coming down. Within about 5 minutes, Donanjay came down. He had gone at 5:25 and came back at 5:45, waiting upstairs for 20 minutes. When he came down, the security agency representative asked him why he was there. As he answered this question, all of them started walking towards the gate of the apartment complex. We are not sure what answer Donanjay gave him, but he said that he would go to the new place for duty only after a few days. After this, Donanjay picked up his luggage and left. It was 5:50 p.m. at this time. Now, in the beginning of the story, we told you that Hetal Parekh came back from the temple, knocked on the door, and then saw the dead body of her daughter, Hetal Parekh. When people found out about the incident, everyone started coming to Hetal Parekh's house. Father Nagardas and Bhavesh were also called home. Slowly, everyone was coming, and the police's arrival was pending. Around 9, the police arrived and started their work, but by this time, quite a few people had already reached the crime scene. The police began their work by questioning Hetal's family and neighbors. Everyone was shocked and confused about how such a crime could occur in their community. The police collected statements and pieced together a timeline of events leading up to Hetal's death. The police retrieved a button from a cream-colored shirt at the crime scene. The forensic team collected more samples, including fingerprints and potential DNA evidence from Hetal's body and the surrounding area. The police sent the body for post-mortem and collected the evidence found there. Under the name of evidence, they found a button from a cream-colored shirt, along with 2 or 3 other normal items. The next day, on March 6th, Father Nagardas was asked if he suspected anyone. Nagardas revealed that in their society there was a guard named Donanjay. He was wary of him because he had previously caused trouble by making inappropriate advances towards his daughter and asking her to spend time with him. He also informed them that he had filed a complaint against Donanjay in the society, which led to Donanjay being transferred to another location. Nagardas suggested that Donanjay might have acted out in anger due to this situation. Later, Yashomati, the mother, was also interviewed, and she provided a similar account with additional details. She said that Donanjay had harassed their daughter and mentioned that a watch was stolen from their house recently, possibly the day before. She also noted that the liftman had seen Donanjay approaching their apartment on the 3rd floor the previous day. After speaking with the parents, the police questioned the liftman, who stated that around 5:45 p.m., he saw Donanjay going downstairs, but did not see him going upstairs. When the police asked the night shift guard, he mentioned that Donanjay had gone upstairs between 5:25 and 5:45 p.m., and that a security agency representative had arrived at the same time. The police then interviewed the security agency manager. The manager explained that although Donanjay had been transferred to another apartment complex, he had come to collect his belongings and watch a movie. The manager further stated that Donanjay had planned to visit his village for a family tradition and left after the visit. The police were curious about Donanjay's sudden trip to his village. The manager explained that there was a family event which required Donanjay to return home. The duration of his stay in the village was not specified. Witnesses, including the liftman and other residents, confirmed seeing Donanjay on the third floor around the time of the incident. When the post-mortem report was released, it was found that there were multiple injuries on the body and evidence of a serious crime. On May 12, 1990, approximately 2 months later, the police went to Donanjay's village and arrested him. They also found the clothes he wore on March 5th and a watch that appeared to match the one reported missing. They discovered that at around 5:25 p.m., Donanjay, who was supposed to be working elsewhere, had gone up to the third floor of the building. The night shift guard confirmed seeing him take the elevator. Shortly after, around 5:50 p.m., Hetal Parekh returned from the temple to find her daughter unresponsive. During his interrogation, Donanjay initially denied any involvement, but later confessed under pressure. He claimed the encounter began as consensual, but escalated when the victim resisted. Despite his confession, doubts about the crime's details remained. According to the police, Donanjay had taken his clothes from his bag, went upstairs, and knocked on the door. The victim opened the door and let him in as she was familiar with him. He explained the situation to her and after about 20 minutes attempted to assault her. When she resisted, he ended her life. During the struggle, a button from his shirt came off. He left the apartment, changed clothes in the guard room, and was seen by the security representative. In the evening, he went to his village. With the evidence and post-mortem report, Donanjay was arrested on suspicion of murder. The trial began with a strong case against him. In court, the security manager and the night shift guard testified about their observations. Donanjay was questioned about his actions in the apartment, and he admitted to them, claiming they were consensual. He also mentioned that the victim had another boyfriend, Anand Agrawal, who might have had a motive out of jealousy. The police had crucial evidence: fingerprints on a knife that matched Donanjay's. The trial proceeded quickly due to public pressure, and Donanjay was convicted of the crime and sentenced to death. He appealed, but the decision was upheld by higher courts, and his mercy petition was also denied. He was executed in March 1993. On January 28, 1994, the execution was carried out. After the trial, the Parekh family struggled to rebuild their lives. They moved to Mumbai to escape the painful memories. Bhavesh Parekh continued his education, but was deeply affected by the loss of his sister. In 2005, advances in forensic science led to a re-evaluation of the evidence. New DNA testing showed that the DNA on the victim did not match Donanjay's, raising doubts about his guilt. This led to a reinvestigation and new suspects. The police then focused on Anand Agrawal, a close friend of the victim. It was revealed that Anand Agrawal had a complex relationship with her and had been present at the apartment complex on the day of the crime. His initial alibi was found to be false, and further interrogation uncovered inconsistencies in his statements. Anand Agrawal was arrested and charged with the crime. During the trial, it was shown that his jealousy and possessiveness had led to the tragic event. The court convicted Anand, providing some closure for the Parekh family. The wrongful execution of Donanjay sparked a nationwide discussion on the death penalty and forensic accuracy. The case underscored the need for continued advancements in forensic science and the importance of ensuring justice. For the Parekh family, the new conviction offered some solace, but the loss of Hetal remained a painful memory. They committed themselves to advocacy and reform, aiming to prevent similar injustices in the future. The story of Hetal Parekh highlights the complexities of justice and the profound impact of loss on a family. If you enjoy such content, remember to like the video and subscribe to our channel. It will really help us out as we are just getting started.